I've got the top 10 shortstops in fantasy baseball coming up next on Beat the Odds. Don't go anywhere. Hello, sports fans, and welcome back to another episode of Beat the Odds. I'm going to count down the top 10 shortstop that you should target in your upcoming fantasy baseball drafts. If you like this content, please smash that like button. And a special thanks goes to all of our subscribers who have been watching these videos, as you now account for 23% of all viewers. To the other 77% of viewers that haven't yet subscribed, I encourage you to do so, as it helps me create these videos for you. Also, leave a comment on a player that you think deserves to be on this list. This episode is brought to you by Thrive Fantasy Sports. Use the promo code BEATTHEODDS to double your first deposit up to $250. And first-time users get a free square. Like tonight, if you bet on Luka to score 1 point and he does, then you win. Alright, let's jump into the list here. At number 10, we have Anthony Vulpe. 62 runs scored last season, 21 homers, 60 runs batted in, 24 stolen bases, and a 209 average. As rookies can attest, the first year in the bigs can be overwhelming. Although Vulpe posted a 2020 in his first year, he struggled to make consistent content and struck out in 27.8% of his appearances. That will likely change as he finds his footing. Vulpe's rookie season should be considered as his floor, and we can expect that he'll be able to add to his totals this year. Let's go to number 9. We have Xander Bogaerts. Last season, he had 83 runs scored, 19 homers, 58 runs batted in, 19 stolen bases, and a 285 average. Bogaerts' line from last season is bolstered by the 19 bags that he stole and his position in the starting lineup as well. He won't have the same amount of protection with Juan Soto out of the fold, but he should still be able to be in that mix for a spot in the middle of the order. He's a bit of a risky play, however, as the metrics show a decline in Bogaerts' exit velocity, hard hit percentage, and sweet spot percentage. He might have a hard time getting back to the 20 home run plateau this year. To number 8 we go. We have Dansby Swanson. Last season he had 81 runs scored, 22 homers, 80 runs batted in, 9 stolen bases, and a 244 average. His age 29 season is going to be a critical one for the former number 1 pick. He's always been a player that we have expected more from at the plate, despite being the league's premier defensive shortstop. His issue is his swings and his misses, where he places in the 28th percentile for whiffs and the 34th percentile in strikeouts. It would be uncharacteristic for Swanson to improve on his contact ability this deep into his career, so we're going to have to hope that he just gets more barrels that makes it over the ivy. Let's go to number 7. We have ONeal Cruz. 7 runs scored last season, a homer, 4 runs batted in, 3 stolen bases, and a 250 average. What Cruz lacks in defensive range, he makes up with a cannon for an arm. What he lacks in plate discipline, he makes up with his 91st percentile exit velocity. Cruz is going to be overlooked in some leagues because of the fracture he sustained to his ankle last year, and because some managers just don't want to take the risk. There is an opportunity for Cruz to get a 30-20 season if everything falls in the right place. To number 6 we go. We have C.J. Abrams. Last season he had 83 runs scored, 18 homers, 64 runs batted in, 47 stolen bases, and a 245 average. Abrams was able to keep his K rate under 20% last season, putting more balls into play and using his legs to run out base hits. He needs to improve on his 5.2 walk percentage, though, for him to stick at the top of the lineup. And if he does, you can count on Abrams to be among the league leaders in stolen bases this season. He swatted 18 balls over the fence last year, but it's safer to bet on his speed than it is to bet on his power. Let's go to number 5. We have Bichette. Last season he had 69 runs scored, 20 homers, 73 runs batted in, 5 stolen bases, and a 306 average. His defense is suspect, his speed is lacking, but good luck trying to get Bichette out once he has the count to 2 strikes. He's not going to walk, but that is part of his approach because of how good he can put bat to ball. He has mastered hitting the ball to the opposite field, and we should expect more of the same from him this season. If the Jays offense gets back on track this year, Bichette's going to be an absolute steal. Let's go to number 4. We have Francisco Lindor. Last season he had 108 runs scored, 31 homers, 98 runs batted in, 31 stolen bases, and a 254 average. Lindor does everything well, but he's not elite at any one aspect of his game. He's just really good at it all. That allows me to be confident in projecting his floor. Lindor's likely going to hit between 250 and 270 with 20 to 30 homers, 20 to 30 stolen bases, and should be close to 100 runs and 100 RBI if the 30-year-old is a prominent fixture in the middle of that Mets order. Let's go to number 3. We have Trea Turner. Last season, he had 102 runs scored, 26 homers, 76 runs batted in, 30 stolen bases, and a .266 average. Turner had the tale of two halves last season, or more accurately, before and after the Philly fans rallied behind him during a series against the Royals in early August last year. He had a .658 OPS prior to that series on August 3rd, and then posted a .1057 OPS to close out the season. Expect Trea to likely settle in closer to an .800 OPS this year with a good shot at replicating his numbers from last year. To number 2 we go. We have Corey Seager. Last season he had 88 runs scored, 33 homers, 96 runs batted in, 2 stolen bases, and a .327 average. Seager is absolutely a beast. The anti-shift rule played into his strengths as he was able to pull balls through the hole between first and second. What impresses me about Seager is that he can be an elite power hitter while still keeping his strikeout percentage low. If he gets a full season without injury, he should be able to reach 100 RBI and 40 home runs with ease, which would be the first time that he's actually accomplished either of those feats in his career. And finally, at number 1, we have Bobby Whit Jr. Last season, he had 97 runs scored, 30 homers, 96 runs batted in, 49 stolen bases, and a .276 average. This may be a controversial pick for the best shortstop in the league, but it's no surprise that we are having this debate. Whit is as good a fielder as any on this list, and his expecting batting average is actually 18 points higher than the .276 that he hit last season. His power is absolutely for real. He runs like a gazelle and he can steal a base at will. And he does all this as a Royal, which is even more impressive. He's a top 5 overall pick in my books. And that's going to do it here for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like on the video and of course subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I am going to sign off for now, but I will catch you guys on our next episode.